More than anything, this is a story about Bill and Phil and how they were born to run from the beginning. Here at the University of Oregon, Hayward Field, Bill was a track coach. He enlisted in the Army after the Japanese had attacked Pearl Harbor. Bill's battalion, about 400 to 500 troops, is facing a Waffen SS brigade, roughly about 3,500. He's vastly outnumbered, but nevertheless, Bill uses initiative, courage, guts, resourcefulness. Bill actually is able to convince his opponent with vastly superior numbers and equipment to lay down their arms. Bill comes back here after the war. His specialty was long-distance running. He coaches a number of All-Americans, Olympians. Through the course of his tenure as the track coach here at the University of Oregon, he coaches an athlete named Phil. Well, he and Phil decide that they've got to find better ways for athletes to compete. See, Bill and Phil share a love of perfectionism, a love for excellence. And so they go about the business of deciding to create a little company called Blue Ribbon Sports. Now, Blue Ribbon Sports is launched in 1964. They're going to import Japanese shoes and start selling them at track meets all over the Pacific Northwest. Now, at the time, Adidas is the dominating player, a billion-dollar Goliath. Blue Ribbon Sports, in its first year, they sold 1,300 pairs of shoes. They made like $8,000. In 1965, they hire their first full-time employee. In 1967, they opened their first retail store. In 1974, after hundreds of failed experiments, Bill creates the waffle shoe. Using his wife's waffle iron, Blue Ribbon Sports eventually became Nike, which now stands, in terms of overall brand valuation, at about $36.8 billion, triple that of Adidas. The Nike story is not complete without understanding the values upon which this company is built. Courage, initiative, resourcefulness, athleticism. Bill Bowerman said, hey, if you've got a body, you're an athlete. So why does all of this exploration of Nike's values matter to you? Why? It matters if you're trying to figure out who you are beyond the products and services you sell. Because if you know who you are, and you can tell a story around that, it actually makes the competition irrelevant. Nike's tribal narrative, that 2 to 6 word phrase, just do it, that is soaked in the values of initiative, courage, guts, resourcefulness, athleticism, and they were baked into Nike's DNA as far back as World War II. But what about you and your values? Are the same values that you profess to live for, are those the values that you're willing to die for? Irresistible brands, regardless of product, service, industry category, once they know the answer to that question, who are you beyond your products and services? Nike knows the answer, but do you? And do you have an opportunity to explore that even further? As always, thanks so much for watching Leaders and Legends, where you never know who you're going to meet or what you'll discover.